It's how procrastination is the thief of time. What do I mean by that? I mean, I was a procrastinator forever, right? And I always would say, I do so great at the last minute. I can really turn on the gas and make magic happen. And often that was true. But I've noticed as my organization and my businesses grow, as my personal life gets like older, more complicated and less energy, right? I don't want to focus so much on things like that, like an all-nighter. And as I get busier in things I love, procrastination steals me away from things I want to do. Because if I've waited to the last minute, it's often harder for me just to push through and get something done. But if you've got something that you're moving from place to place to place on your to-do list, like you've had it on your to-do list more than 2 weeks, but you keep moving it off, you might be a procrastinator too. And if you know or love a procrastinator, these are things that can help them. The first thing to do is to tackle when you're tackling your to-do list is to break it down. And one of the things and resources that I use ruthlessly for this is the Eat That Frog book. When I publish the blog on this, it'll have a great affiliate link for that. Eat That Frog is an amazing book by Brian Tracy, I believe, that teaches you how to decide what on your to-do list should be done, what on your to-do list could be delegated, what isn't that important, and what really doesn't even need to be done. So what's incredible when you're really focused and aligned and you're manifesting exactly where you need to be with your to-do list, it flows in a completely different way. You don't even feel the need to resist it with procrastination. Because I often think procrastination is something that happens when we're really just dreading what we need to do, right? Like, let me be clear. I've never procrastinated eating a croissant. I've never procrastinated having a drink with a friend, right? It's the procrastination is often like, oh, what do I want to do? But when you're like, holy cow, this event is exploding. It's so fun. I love sharing this with people. You don't want to procrastinate there. So break down what you're doing and see if you're in alignment with what you're doing. The next is to prioritize your tasks. Decide what is the hardest, the biggest, the ugliest, the most difficult thing each day and get it done. And I'm telling you, everything else will flow from there. It is an incredible mindset shift when you're no longer dreading your to-do list. And there's an incredible endorphin hit that you get when you check off, I just did the worst thing I had to do all day. The rest is going to be cake, right? The third thing is to set SMART goals. And I talk about this all the time. It's important to set goals in a specific way. The blog will outline these more, but you also can just Google SMART goals. But if you have a SMART goal, it's a much more achievable goal. The next is to use time management techniques, right? Sometimes people will set a timer. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on this task. I'm going to focus exclusively on it and see just how far I can get. You'll be stunned by how often you can get something that felt like it was going to take a long time done in a short period of time if you just focus and really knock it out. Like you do have an urgency. It gives you almost fake urgency, right? And I love those timers on Amazon that you can get that are super simple, big numbers that just say, okay, I'm going to set this for 15 minutes and the alarm's going to go off and remind me. Great, move on to the next task, right? Next is going to be to eliminate distractions. And in the digital age, this can be hard because often we're working on our computers or our phones, and we feel the need to be available 24 hours a day. That is an illusion most of the time. Now, if you have small kids or kids in school and you really feel like you need to have that connection, then allow those calls to come through while you block others. I've been distracted by marketing calls that had nothing to do with me, right? Would you like to put solar on your roof? I didn't need to stop my project to read that text or that email, and yet it distracted me. The easiest trick in the book on this is to put your devices in airplane mode because it takes them out of the distraction mode. But remember, you can always program your devices to let certain people always be able to access you. Next is going to be to find your motivation, right? If you're just not into it, it's really easy to procrastinate. And if your motivation is the almighty dollar, that's so hard not to push off because then it feels like work, right? But if your motivation is to help someone improve their health, help someone grow their business, help someone get inflammation to the curb, and you're seeing them get results, it's really inspiring. So whatever your job is, whatever your goal is, whatever your business is, Let's say you're working towards a health goal, like you're part of the 14-day reset. It's really hard to feel motivated if you've done all 14 days and you've followed all the rules and you don't see any results. That's why I love the 14-day reset, because people see results and that keeps you motivated. So if you're out of motivation, unpack that a little bit and explore maybe why that is. Maybe it's because the systems you're using aren't really working. Maybe it's because you have no systems. And I'm going to encourage you, if you have been following the same path for months, for weeks, and nothing is happening in terms of growth towards your goals, I would switch gears. There's nothing wrong with that. If you've been with a specific coach and you're not seeing the results you want to see, try something new. It can't hurt, right? Next is going to be to reward yourself. I'm really big into this, and I would like you to pick rewards that are monetarily based and rewards that aren't monetarily based. When I get this done, I'm going to be able to take that walk. I'm going to take a hot bath. I'm going to call my friend I've been meaning to catch up with. I'm going to have a cup of hot tea in my kitchen, free basically, right? When I reach this goal, I'm going to get the purse I've been wanting. I'm going to take the trip I've been wanting. I'm going to buy that gift I've been wanting. That's a monetary goal. So make sure you have both so that when times are tight, you're not feeling like, well, I can't really reward myself, right? So make sure your rewards are both. And then last but not least is to seek accountability. I know this list probably sounds familiar if you listen to me a lot, but if you're not implementing each of them, you're missing something. I have just started the Milestone Mentorship for my Young Living business, which is a 12-week accountability program. And I'm telling you, I'm working really hard today to get in all the tasks that I've been assigned for the week. And I think it's great, because it's really showing me what I need to be working on to grow my business, to help more people, to reach more people. And it's kind of showing me what maybe was sucking up my time before that isn't helping people. I have accountability, right? Every single Monday, I'm going to be on a call with my camera on, reporting what I've been doing. And that makes a difference, at least for me. If I'm just accountable to myself, I'm afraid sometimes I negotiate with myself. But if I'm accountable and I've opted into this program, which is free with the exception of buying the manual that you need, which is like $30, so free, it's going to make such a big difference. I can already feel it in my day-to-day activities. And I want to be accountable because I respect the people that are spending their time teaching me and coaching me in this way. So find an accountability system that works for you. So procrastination is really often just a habit. Sometimes it's based out of fear, but it's often easy to fix if you use these 8 techniques, because I'm telling you, procrastination wastes your time. Every single time you think about the task, right? Oh yeah, I really meant to call them today. I will call them tomorrow. Let me move it onto my list. Let me put it on my list. Your mind just wasted 15 seconds. And if you think about it multiple times a day, you're probably wasting minutes every single day. And if you're thinking about it multiple times a week, you're probably wasting an hour a week. And just think of how that adds up over time. This is what I did when projects were too big and were too intimidating to me, like my decluttering project. The lightness I feel now that the majority of that is done is transformational for my business, for my health, for my life, for my relationship, for my home. When you take 10 trailer loads of stuff away from a home, it also helps. But I'm telling you, I put that off forever because of trauma, because of emotions, because I just didn't feel up to facing all of that clutter. When I did, it made such a big difference. And I wish I had stopped procrastinating sooner. So if you're procrastinating on something and you need support, you give me a holler and let's see what we can do to support you. If you're procrastinating on your health goals, I can offer you the 14-day reset that starts September 11th. It's all free in terms of the exercises, the checklist, the printables. You get information on what diet you might want to pick or way to eat you might want to pick. It can be Whole30, it can be keto, it can be paleo, very flexible. There are tons of resources and support. All you do is buy the one supplement that you need to make it really work with the inflammation. It's so affordable and it's so amazing. I've been doing it once a month and I feel better than I have in a really long time. If you're interested in getting a business going, if you've been putting off your financial independence, I'd be happy to talk to you about that too, because to start a business with Young Living is only $1, which I love. I love that they're making it simple for people. So whatever you've been putting off, wherever you've been meaning to do, go ahead and do it. You're going to feel a lot better. I'm so grateful that you're here. I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.